Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Horseshoe Show here on Search Force TV. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Your host, Jack Rizzo, here with you today, bringing you all the latest Colts content from their game against the Cleveland Browns this past Sunday. It was certainly an exciting one of the best games of the week. Unfortunately, it didn't end the way the Colts were hoping, or the way that I was hoping, but we'll get into why and how in just a second. Again, thank you everyone for joining us. As you can see, the captions are all in pink in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Really, really important, I think, for us to celebrate. And to anyone who is going through breast cancer, who has been through breast cancer, and their families, best wishes to all of you. Happy Wednesday to all of you guys again. Want to give a shout out to my friend Eli, my podcast partner, who is at the Devils game tonight against the Washington Capitals. The puck drop is just going to begin shortly, so hope you have a great time there, Eli. We'll be back on Friday for our show. All right, let's talk about the Colts and their game. But first, let's talk about the latest breaking news for the Colts and about their owner, Jim Irsay, with his tweet yesterday showing a couple of big stories. The first one was that Anthony Richardson's shoulder surgery went successful, which is a great thing to hear. No timetable yet, but the surgery was a success. He's out for the rest of the season. Hopefully, he should be ready, though, for 2024. So hope AR gets well soon. Can't wait to have him back on the field, for sure. The second part, though, of that Jim Irsay tweet is one that everyone's talking about. And Jim Irsay tweeted out that the refs admitted that the referees admitted to calls, that they got those calls at the end of the game. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and let's get into it right now. So the Colts were up 38-33. With about 3 minutes left, the Browns got the ball back. They needed to win the game. Got a couple of big plays downfield. A third down play from P.J. Walker to Elijah Moore. Found a wide open Donovan Peoples-Jones in the middle of the field. But it was 3rd and 4 in the red zone. The Browns had timeouts left, so a stop would have ended the game for the Colts. And the Colts got that EJ speed sack where he crushed P.J. Walker. The Forrest Buckner was downfield to recover it, and the whole game was celebrating for all about 2 minutes. And then we found out that there was a marker at about the 10-yard line, all the way back near where the play was going on. And it was not, unfortunately, it was not an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. It was not maybe another flag. It was not an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty or a block after the fumble. It was an illegal contact on Darrell Baker Jr., who had come in to replace Juju Brents in the fourth after he got hurt. And, oh, man, that was a killer. But, again, the Colts still need to stop. But 2 plays later after that, all of a sudden, I think it's first or second goal at the 10. P.J. Walker sails the pass really high in the end zone for Amari Cooper. Again, nobody would catch that ball. Not even Manute Ball would be catching that. But the refs flagged Darrell Baker once again, this time for a pass interference, which gave the Browns a 1st and goal at the 1. Now, the calls were absolutely horrendous. The first illegal contact penalty, Amari Cooper was the one who dragged Darrell Baker down, and somehow Baker was the one who got flagged for it. That made no sense to me, questioning that one, especially because it came, I think, almost like after the quarterback had gotten sacked, and it didn't really, his illegal contact didn't really make much of an impact on what was going on during the play. And the pass interference, though, was just absolutely ridiculous. Like, you could argue the illegal contact, but the pass interference call is ridiculous. Again, it is only supposed to be called on a ball that is deemed catchable, and that ball was not catchable. Quite simply, it was just 2 horrendous calls on him, and that set up the Browns at the 1-yard line. The Colts stopped him 3 times, but then on 4th and goal, Kareem Hunt got hit at the 1-yard line, but then reached the ball over the pylon to score a touchdown with 15 seconds left. The Browns failed on the 2-point conversion attempt, but the Colts did not have enough time, and the Browns would get a turnover with about 5 seconds left, and they'd go on to ice the game. It's just absolutely disgusting to me that the refs had to take this one out of the Colts' hands and put it in the Browns. Even if I was a Browns fan, honestly, I would still have to say that the refs really, really screwed this one up. And, it really does stink. It's really unfortunate. This is a big game for the Colts. If they would have won, they would have gotten to 4-3 right in the middle of the AFC playoff picture. They are now 3-4 in 3rd place in their division, and they have quite a hill to climb if they want to get back in the playoff race. So really, really unfortunate sequence of events for the Colts. And again, we all knew how bad the refs were. Again, I was me and my dad were watching it. We were pissed about it. But I think rightfully so. Pretty much every Colts fan was mad about it. I think the worst part is that I saw some people online defending the refs. Although if you watch those two plays, I don't understand how you could. Guy Destin had an article about the two penalties and why they should not have been called penalties. He did his homework. He went to the NFL rulebook to check it out, and he wrote a great article. And again, neither of the plays should have been penalties. So really, really unfortunate circumstances there. And it took a win away from the Colts, and it ruins the integrity of the game. But what can you do? I mean, one thing I do want to say is that the refs that work the NFL, not their full-time job. They have other jobs that they work 5 days a week. I think this needs to be their full-time job so they can do it more correctly, because it wasn't just the Colts this week who got screwed by the refs. The Rams did, the Dolphins did, the Vikings had a couple of bad calls to them on Monday night. Just a horrendous weekend from the refs, and they're ruining the integrity of the game by taking it in their own hands and calling these penalties. It's just not okay, and this needs to be addressed. I'm glad Jim Irsay came out and spoke about it, and because again, in the NFL, you're not allowed to do this. So obviously, Jim Irsay is going to get fined, or he's going to get some sort of penalty. Hopefully, a draft pick isn't taken away from us. But if it's like a major punishment though on Jim Irsay, the backlash is going to be insane. Although I have to give Jim Irsay some credit. This guy has some guts to come out and do this. A lot of people like to crap on Jim Irsay for the Jonathan Taylor situation, hiring Jeff Saturday, but what Jim Irsay has come out and spoken what most of the league believes about these refs needing to be better at their jobs. And Jim Irsay also said in that tweet that he wants for the NFL to implement a rule in which all penalties can be reviewed inside of 2 minutes. And honestly, I love that rule. Again, this game needs to be fair and square. The refs need to be held accountable. They need to be fined, suspended. They get paid a lot by the league, so they can afford these fines. Suspended, fired in some cases. I mean, literally, the one of the referees working for the Dolphins-Eagles game on Sunday night, he had been suspended by the ACC a few years before for his horrible officiating. It's just the NFL, man. They need to fix their refs, and it's a huge issue in the NFL right now. But it's just sad that the Colts got a win taken out of their hands. Colts fans were furious. I was too. Now it's been 3 days since, so I've been a little bit calmer since then. I mean, we definitely had plenty of chances to put the game away before that, but it's still unfortunate though that the Browns were given two free, get pretty much put at the 1 yard line thanks to the refs, and we had a turnover taken away from us. So really unfortunate circumstance, but hopefully the refs can just improve from here, because they really need to. And about Jim Irsay tweeting that out, I absolutely love that he did that. I mean, love Jim Irsay as my owner. I know he's a little crazy sometimes in the head, but I would never ever want another person being the owner of my team than Jim Irsay. This guy wants to win. He loves the city of Indianapolis, loves the Colts, loves the fans. Does giveaways every week. Again, charity guy. Believe he was the one who donated the most to the Damar Hamlin charity, the Chasing M's Foundation. Jim Irsay is just such a great guy. Absolutely love him, and I love the way that he's speaking out. And again, he loves his fans, and I cannot be more grateful for Mr. Irsay and our team, and I hope that he continues to many years to come. Now, about the actual game itself, about the actual play, not the zebras that were on the field. It was a frustrating loss for the Colts. I talked about the refs before, but there were several other times the Colts. The first half in particular was pretty frustrating. They were only trailing. I think they were trailing 27. So it was a crazy game. Lots of offense, but let's talk about starting off with Shane Steichen. Up and down game for Shane. I will say though, some of the play calls, some of the players that incredibly well. Josh Downs, Jonathan Taylor getting back involved. He's made it work with Gardner Minshew has been effective. I mean, he has to stop the turnovers, but Gardner can at least offense to a. I mean, they scored 38 points last week. And I love the way he's playing. Although I will say there were a couple things that I did question about Shane Steichen, particularly at the end of the first half. Got too aggressive when he didn't need to. At Gardner Minshew threw out of his end zone and got sacked by Myles Garrett, a strip sack to put the Browns up near the end of the first half. That was a game changer in the first half, an absolute killer for Especially, he was just too aggressive. Like, he should have run the ball more, slowed the clock down, because the Colts got more likely, and they would have had a better chance to win the game, especially because they got the ball to start the second half. So certainly frustrating there for the Colts. Also, though, Shane Steichen at the end of the game, fourth quarter, took some very questionable timeouts when he didn't need to. I didn't agree with taking a timeout on the 2-point conversion and taking one before. I think the Colts should have began that last drive, allowed them to open up the playbook a little more, take some more shots in the middle of the field. So I would have liked to see him do that, but Shane Steichen did do some great things. He got Jonathan Taylor back rolling. Josh Downs is having a great rookie. Mike is getting paid too, and he's having an awesome year. O-line is doing a great job in the run blocking. They did have a few issues today, but I'll get to that in just a second. But Shane Steichen is making it work with everyone in this offense. I love the way that he's playing, and I love the way that this Colts team, they play with heart and they play with passion. And that was not something we saw with Frank Reich. I mean, I know the Colts they're 3-4, so they're not doing particularly great. They're not doing bad either, but they're showing so much heart in every game this year, which I absolutely love. Gardner Minshew, his fourth start of the season. No, his third start. I'm sorry. His third start of the season. He's played the majority of 5 games, though. Love the way, though, that Gardner played, or he made a few mistakes, but like the way that Gardner played, overall went 15 of 23 passing, 305 yards. That's a pretty cool. I mean, he averaged almost over 13 yards per completion, had 2 passing touchdowns, 1 interception, did take 4 sacks, although that was more so on the offensive line. Lost 3 fumbles. That was the big thing with Minshew, is that he did have 4 turnovers, as did he last week. So the turnovers continue to be a problem. Gardner's got to protect the football better. He has to have a better feeling in the pocket. That strip sack in the end zone was critical. The interception he threw was also bad, as he just didn't see Denzel Ward, and it was one of the easiest interceptions that I've seen in quite some time. But again, Gardner did. Josh Downs, what a game he had. I'll get to him in a second, but Gardner and Josh Downs have a great connection. Alec Pierce got the ball a little bit. Michael Pittman as well. Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss continue to do a good job catching the ball out of the backfield. So certainly Gardner Minshew, again, I think he has to be more so of a game manager. Like, they just got to rely on this really strong rushing game and just don't turn the ball over. And I think that's helped them weeks 3 and 5, especially. Did not turn the ball over once in both those games and relied on the rushing game, and they won both of those. So that's what the Colts have to continue to do. Jonathan Taylor, welcome back, Jonathan Taylor. The Colts been waiting for so long for JT to look like the 2021 form. We haven't really seen it in full since week 1 of 2022 when he went off against the Texans, but didn't really have a great game outside of that. I think only like 1 or 2 more 100-yard games the rest of the season. Only 4 rushing touchdowns last year. The rushing yards were still there, just he wasn't as explosive as he was in 2021. The first 2 games back, GT just kind of trying to get assimilated back into this offense. Well, he put it into full gear in week 7. What a week JT had. Start with his rushing stats. He had 75 yards on 18 carries, by far his most carries of the week. And he had 1 rushing touchdown, his first touchdown in nearly a calendar year, his first rushing touchdown since week 12 of last year against the Pittsburgh Steelers back on November 28th. So it's been a very long time since Jonathan Taylor's been in that end zone. And receiving-wise, he had 3 catches for 45 yards. He's been a really good asset in the game so far. He had a big catch last week, had a couple of nice grabs the last 3 weeks. I love the way JT's getting back in this offense. The workload's going to continue to go up. JT's been paid, so he's just going to go into full gear. And I'm excited back because I like Zach Moss, but JT can change a game. You can't really say that about Zach Moss. Now, speaking of carries, JT had 18 carries and had 57 rushes, just 3.2 yards per carry. Unlike the week 3 and 5 performance that we saw from Moss, had just 1 yard. He did not practice today due to injury, so I think JT starts to get more of a workload in this offense anyways. But Zach Moss is a great backup to have, and he could come in if JT ever gets hurt again or anything like that. How about Gardner running the ball? I forgot to talk about Gardner running the ball. I completely forgot about that. He had 2 rushing touchdowns on Sunday. One of them was on a read option that he took to the house. One of the craziest plays I've seen him. It was a really cool play that, he was just able to execute. It was like a little read option, I think, on like a 3rd and 2. He cut it back for the first down and looked like AR running. I said on Twitter, because he really looked like AR running the ball. and then had another rushing touchdown in the second. So Gardner looked really good rushing the ball. Overall, the Colts had 168 yards on the ground. That's 4.2 yards per carry, 3 rushing touchdowns. So the rush offense continue to get better, and hopefully they continue to improve as the season goes on because they need it. Receiving wise, what a game for Josh Downs. The rookie is starting to show out. So happy with the way Josh Downs is playing. Had by far his best game as a Colt. 5 catches, 125 yards, and a touchdown. The one touchdown he got on a 15-yard receiving touchdown. Just a crazy, crazy play. The Browns had jumped off sides, but they almost stopped playing, and Downs was wide open and scored an easy touchdown. Second straight week that the rookie has had a touchdown. Now his 33 catches for 401 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season. Josh Downs is having quite the rookie season for the Indianapolis Colts. He's on pace right now to have nearly 1,000 yards on the season. And I just love the way that this guy Josh Downs is playing. And I absolutely love him on this Colts team. And again, what a pickup he was. And maybe he'll be the WR2 of the future. Alec Pierce played well, though. He had 3 catches for 53 yards. He had 3 targets. One of them on his one-on-one back shoulder, which I believe was also on a Myles Garrett offside penalty. That's Pierce's specialty, those one-on-one. So he is a bit of a one-trick pony, but he's just so good at it. Love the way Pierce does that. I know 3 for 53 sounds exciting. I know it's been a disappointing season for Pierce, but honestly, he's been important, though. He's drawn some big penalties. He made some big catches in the last few games. I remember that one-handed catch last week against Jacksonville. Drew a big third down penalty against Tennessee, then caught a big one to ice the game. Or to at least run some more clock down. And then week 4, the big catch downfield. And then this week, that big one-on-one catch downfield in the second half. So certainly good for Alec Pierce. Michael Pittman, just 2 catches, but he had 83 yards and a touchdown, including a 75-yard touchdown. Just an absolutely crazy, crazy play. Basically just caught the ball and bounced off a couple defenders, took it to the house, put up the peace sign, which was really cool. He's probably going to get fined for it, unfortunately. And of course, the refs aren't going to get fined, but whatever. It's time we pay Pittman. Pittman talked about, actually, after the game, of the fact that he hasn't gotten enough targets or he doesn't feel like he's a big part of this offense, but then came back today and apologized and, try to clear up any confusion. I love the way Pittman is. He's a great teammate, a great person. Seems like a great family man, just a great, one hell of a football player. He is a keeper for sure. Funny enough, just 1 catch for the tight end today, went for -6 yards. Well, Kylan Granson did not play. Jelani Woods still not back yet. Speaking of Jelani Woods, though, Shane Steichen said today that he is getting closer back. Hopefully we will see Jelani, and he can have a nice impact in the second half of the season. The offensive line was very shaky for the Colts on Sunday. Not having Braden Smith is really hurt. The offensive line gave up 4 sacks. Myles Garrett had 2 of them. Garrett forced 2 fumbles. The Browns recovered 2 fumble recoveries. Blake Freeland is having several rookie pains as a tackle. That's typical for a rookie, so he still has time to improve, but the Colts really need Braden Smith back in there because when this whole offensive line is healthy, they're one of the best in football. No questions about it. Ryan Kelly has played like the best center in the league this year. Quentin Nelson having a nice bounce back here. Bernard Raymond is becoming a star, and Will Fry is doing a great job at right guard. So we really need Braden Smith to come back, and let's hope that he does come back. I really, really, really do hope that he does come back. Let's talk about defense for the Colts. Let me just say, actually about offense one more time. Let me just say about Shane Steichen how impressive it is that he put up 38 points against the NFL's best defense. It's defense that just shut down the 49ers star-powered offense last week, so really, really impressive stuff from the Colts. In terms of their defense, I know they gave up 39 points. That does not tell the story. A lot of the Browns' points came off of really bad turnovers that set them up in great field position. The defense played well. I thought the defense played really, 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 really well. Forced a couple of turnovers. I'm trying to see how many they forced. Just give me 1 second. They forced 2 interceptions, one on Deshaun Watson and one on PJ Walker. Now, I know Julian Blackmon had the one on Watson. Got the one on PJ Walker came courtesy of Rodney Thomas. That was his first of the season. So 2 interceptions from the Colts. Really good stuff to see. Zaire Franklin, a beast again, 11 tackles, once again led the team. How about Kenny Moore's day, though? Kenny Moore has been really good this year, really flying under the radar. 10 tackles, 1.5 sacks. Kenny Moore has been known as kind of like a SPAC specialist as a nickel corner the last few years. Just has slowed down the last few years, but got back to that this week. 3 tackles for loss. It was an awesome day from Kenny Moore. Shaq Leonard, 7 tackles. I still miss Darius because, he just is not the same without the name. Especially on that 4th down run by Kareem Hunt to win the game. A good day from the defense. Secondary needs some work, but the front 7 is playing out of their minds, containing the run game, except for that one long rush touchdown. Again, the Browns just got some crazy plays that inflated their numbers, but overall the defense played well. And then on special teams, Matt Gay, 1 of 2 on field goals. The one field goal that he missed, a 60-yard, it actually was blocked, so it almost does really count as a miss. And then he was 5 for 5 in extra points. Matt Gay's having a great year for the great. He single-handedly won that Week 3 game against Baltimore. Had some big kicks against Tennessee as well. Just love the way that Matt Gay is playing for us. And how about Rigoberto Sanchez? 5 punts, 260 yards, averaged 52 yards a punt. I love Rigo. He's one of the best punters in the league. So really awesome to see the way that he played on Sunday. All right, time to preview the Colts matchup in Week 8. They are at home taking on the New Orleans Saints, another team that lost last week to the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Saints have been really frustrating this year. The Saints have lost 4 of their last 5. They need to get back on track. This feels like a must-win for both teams if they want to stay in the playoff picture in the respective conferences. The Colts are the 1.5 or the 1-point favorite at home. The Colts faced a really good challenge with the Browns defense last week. They're going to face an equally as good challenge with these Saints this week. Now, last week it was single-handedly Myles Garrett for the defense, but the Saints, it's their whole defense. But about Myles Garrett, what a week that guy had. I believe he won AFC Defensive Player of the Week. 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, a blocked field goal, and a pass defended. Absolutely crazy game for Myles Garrett. And yeah, Myles Garrett did win the AFC Defensive Player of the Week, obviously. What a crazy, crazy game from him. Honestly, respect to Myles Garrett for the way he played. He's already making a case as a Hall of Famer. The guy is just absolutely crazy. He can single-handedly take over a game. We saw that on Sunday. So, good game for Myles Garrett. But again, the Saints defense possesses a great challenge Gardner Minshew in the offense. But if they can play like they did last week, I think it's going to help them. I think the key to the Colts winning this game is just running the ball more consistently and limiting the turnovers. I mean, that's the special sauce. So hopefully we see them do that. And I honestly have no worries about this defense. I think this defense is going to play really well. I think Derek Carr in the offense has struggled a little bit. We just have to get a lot of pressure on Derek Carr because the secondary is bad. And veteran like Derek Carr can light up the secondary. So as long as we get the defensive pressure, hopefully we'll be okay on defense. As for the game, I am going to take the Indianapolis Colts. Yep, I'm going to pick the Colts to win. Why not? My streak of picking them to lose doesn't really work anymore. And you know what? I want to pick the Colts to win. They're my team, and I love them so much, and I really want to pick them to win. I'm going to go with 27-23 for the final. Really close game. I think the Colts are going to score a touchdown with about a minute and a half remaining. Gardner Minshew to Alec Pierce's first touchdown of the season, and that is how the Colts get win number 4 in the season. And funny enough, that this game will be the 4th time in the last 5 that the Colts will have played at Lucas Oil Stadium. They then begin a 2-game road trip in Carolina and then Germany for the Patriots, then have a bye and then come back after Thanksgiving at home to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, well, that's pretty much going to do it for my show. Thank you much for watching. It's been a great 25 minutes here to spend with y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Just a heads up that Eli and I will not be calling the St. Mary football game this Friday night at Albertus Magnus in Bardonia, New York. So just broadcast the St. Mary's game this Friday. We apologize for that. Join Eli for Sports Mono Mono on Saturday with Jim. Eli and I for our picks on Friday for week number 8. Again, all 16 all 16 teams are playing a full slate for week 8. 12th Horseshoe Tuesday, episodes every Tuesday and Friday. My show on Wednesdays, just like today, and many more. And again, continue to go out. Make sure you go out and wear pink, as they say. Real men wear pink. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Jack Rizzo signing off here. Go Colts, go New York Rangers, and go Texas Rangers too. Why not? And go Rutgers. They are bowl eligible. Congrats to the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. They are bowl eligible. Congrats to them. But Jack Rizzo signing off, and good night, everyone, and go Colts.